quote a little bit out of your book. You've written, the lower your excess mortality, the better you're doing. In fact, some countries, excess mortality is actually negative. That's because they had relatively few deaths from COVID. And there were also fewer traffic accidents and other fatal incidents because people were staying home so much more towards the end of 2021. America's excess mortality was more than 3,200 per million people, roughly on par with Brazil's. And you go on to write after that Canada's, by contrast, was around 650, while Russia was well over 7,000. Many of the countries with the lowest excess mortalities, near zero and negative. Australia, Vietnam, New Zealand, South Korea did three things very well in the pandemic. They tested a large share of the population quickly, isolated people who tested positive or had been exposed, and carried out a plan for detecting, tracing and managing cases that may have come across their borders. How do you assess the manner in which India has fared on this parameter?
Surprisingly, the rich countries have a higher death rate than almost all the other countries. It's kind of the US, Europe, and a few countries in South America, like Peru, have the highest. Now, part of that is the age structure. This is a disease that really a lot of the deaths are people who are over 60. And also, working indoors makes it more dangerous for you. Overall, India did an amazing job not only making vaccines, but also getting them out to people. India has a better vaccine coverage than the United States has. The thing it needs to put the energy into now is that boosting for the elderly, but both the manufacturing and the infrastructure for vaccines, India was one of the best. The idea of which lockdowns were appropriate when, we're still digging through that, trying to understand, when schools are shut down, of course, there's a real cost to that. And so, I hope we can understand better when that tactic should apply and when it shouldn't. The entire world is a bit unclear about that.